A week before New Year's Eve, I accidentally overheard my family planning to turn me into a free overnight babysitter for 9 kids. That's when I decided enough is enough. On December 31st, my mom called in a panic. "Sarah, where are you? The guests are already here, and the food hasn't arrived." I just laughed and told her, "Don't wait up for me, or the $1-800 catering order." Well, let me start at the beginning. My name is Sarah. I'm 27 years old, and I work as a data analyst for a huge national insurance company, the kind that has billboards on every interstate. My salary is decent. It's enough for me to rent a sleek studio apartment in Chicago's River North neighborhood and still have money left over for fun. By Chicago standards, I'm a pretty established woman. But there's one problem that drives me crazier than quarterly reports. My parents live in Naperville, which is about a 40-minute drive from the city, if the traffic isn't terrible. They are good people, I won't deny that. But sometimes they act like I'm still 15, not almost 30. I visit them regularly. Family is sacred after all. Except that these visits stopped feeling like a break a long time ago. I have an older sister, Tiffany, who's 33. She's been married to Ryan for about 10 years, and they have 2 kids, my nephews, Ethan, who's 8, and Lily, who's 6, and is her dad's little princess. They seem like a happy family, pretty normal. But there's one detail that's been grinding my gears for months now. Every Saturday, listen to this, every single damn Saturday, Tiffany shows up at my door, exactly at 9 a.m., with the kids. No call, no text, just standing there with a huge grin. She says, "Hi, Sari, the kids miss their favorite aunt so much." And that's it. She gives them a quick kiss, waves, and is gone down the elevator. She picks them up between 8 and 9 p.m., shouting, "Love you," as the doors close, while she and Ryan are out at trendy brunch spots, business luncheons, shopping on the Magnificent Mile, or seeing a movie downtown. They're living their best life, and I'm stuck with 2 hyperactive, noisy kids for 12 hours straight. About 3 months ago, I tried to talk to her. I was sitting in my kitchen one Sunday morning, eyes red after another Saturday shift, and I decided, "Tiff, we need to talk about Saturdays." I started as diplomatically as possible. I love the kids, I really do, but I'd like to set a schedule or something, so I can have free weekends sometimes too. The silence on the phone was so deep, I would have heard a dust bunny hit the floor. "Sarah?" Her voice was dripping with offense, as if I'd suggested giving the children up for adoption. "I cannot believe how selfish you are. We're family. Ryan and I work like crazy. We go weeks without seeing each other. And you? No husband, no kids. What are you even doing on Saturdays anyway?" I tried to explain. Maybe I wanted to go out with someone, or grab coffee with friends, or just crash at home after a stressful week of reports. "Nonsense," my sister cut me off. "Ethan and Lily adore you. You're like a second mom to them." A couple of weeks later, I decided to try another approach. During our traditional Sunday family BBQ at my parents' house, over the pulled pork and potato salad, I brought it up in front of Mom and Dad. "Mom, I wanted to talk about Tiff's kids. I love them, sure, but they're with me every single Saturday. It's a bit much. Can we agree on a schedule?" Dad didn't even look up from his plate. He just grunted. "Sari, it's family. You always help family." And Mom put her fork down and looked at me as if I'd said a swear word in front of the children. "Honey, I didn't raise you that way. Tiffany works. She needs time alone with Ryan. You're single. You have no obligations. And besides, you know what? It's the best practice. It'll be easier when you have your own. Mom, what if I want to go on a date or meet friends on a Saturday?" Tiffany jumped in before Mom could answer. "Save your dates for Friday or Sunday, and have your friends come over and meet the kids while they're at it. Simple, Sari." Dad nodded. "Your sister is right. Family is sacred. You don't say no to your own flesh and blood." I almost exploded. I wanted to stand up and scream that they didn't even see me as a person. But instead, I forced a smile and mumbled that I understood. Though what I understood was that I was beginning to hate all of them, little by little, my parents for not even trying to listen, Tiff for her sheer audacity. And I even started to resent my niece and nephew, which made me feel horribly ashamed afterward. 3 weeks before New Year's, I was at the office in the Loop, finishing up the quarterly report, when Mom called. "Sarbear, hi, I'm calling about New Year's Eve. This year is going to be packed. Aunt Lisa is coming with her 3 kids. Uncle Mike and Stella are bringing their 2. Plus, Ryan's parents and his brother's family. That's another 4 kids. I quickly calculated in my head. That was going to be a house full of people. Sounds big. What should I bring, Mom? That's what this is about, honey. I can't possibly cook for that many people alone. Could you handle ordering the catering? You know, something nice and plentiful. You always do such a good job. My heart sank. Catering for that crowd? It would cost a fortune. Mom, how many people total? About 25, maybe more. I know it's a lot to ask, but you're the one who earns the best. Everyone else is tight on cash right now. We'll pay you back later. I wanted to say, why is this my problem? I wanted to remind her that a good salary doesn't mean I should feed the entire extended family for the holiday. But there was so much hope in my mother's voice. Okay, Mom, I'll take care of the catering. Oh, thank you, sweetie. You're the best. I'll text you the list of everyone's preferences. I hung up and leaned back in my chair. $1,800 for a New Year's table I hadn't even planned on. But it's family. It's once a year. It's a holiday, I convinced myself. I ordered the catering from The Artisan Plate, a local high-end delivery service. I paid the $1,000 deposit, trying not to look at the final bill. The work kept me distracted, and I even started to look forward to the family New Year's. After all, the atmosphere, the tree, the excitement. And then, exactly 1 week before the party, my phone rang. I was wrapping up a client analysis report. Sarah Miller, this is Stella from the Artisan Plate Catering Service. I'm calling about your December 31st order. Good morning, Stella. Is something wrong? Unfortunately, we have a hiccup. Our main meat supplier had a huge failure. All the prime cuts went to corporate clients. But we can substitute with a gourmet roast chicken with potatoes and wild mushrooms for the same price. Will that work for you? It was annoying, but not a huge deal. Let me check with the family. I'll call you back. Of course, but please try to decide today or tomorrow. It's the last week of the year. You know how it is. I called Mom immediately. Subscriber temporarily unavailable. Dad? Same thing. My sister? Straight to voicemail. It was like they were coordinating their silence. After work, I decided to stop by my parents' house. Someone had to be home. At 6:30 p.m., I opened the door with my key. The apartment was warm and smelled like Mom's signature stew. I was about to yell, "Mom, I'm here!" But I heard her voice from the living room. She was talking loudly on the phone, as she always does when she's agitated. And then I heard my name. "Oh, Lisa, don't worry about a thing. Sarah is going to be great with the kids. No need to hire entertainers." I froze in the hallway. What does she mean, be great with the kids? We already agreed. We'll set up the kids' room, put on movies, bring out the board games, and Sarah will stay in there with them. All 9 of them is a lot, of course, but she can handle it. And we, the adults, can relax at the table, have a drink, play some poker. 9 kids. My ears were ringing. I plastered myself against the wall, afraid to walk in, but unable to leave. Yes, Mom giggled. It's perfect. She's already got practice with Ethan and Lily. And besides, someone has to watch the children while we celebrate New Year's Eve. Sarah is single, no boyfriend? What is she going to do sitting at the adult table, bored? I felt sick hearing that. They planned everything behind my back, without even telling me. Sarah doesn't have her own kids, Mom continued, sounding completely unconcerned. So, she's not as exhausted as us parents. Plus, she's the youngest, loads of energy. Trust me, Lisa, bring all of yours. Sarah watches Ethan and Lily every Saturday. They adore her. What's the big deal about watching a few more kids for one night? Aunt Lisa must have cracked a joke because Mom burst into laughter. Exactly. We just dropped the 9 kids with Sarah, and we'll have a real adult New Year's Eve. Good wine, deep conversations, maybe a round of cards. It'll be great. I backed away toward the front door, not making a sound. My hands were shaking with fury. So, I was supposed to drop $1,800 on the party table and then spend the whole night with 9 children while everyone else toasted with champagne. I heard Mom wrap up the call. I waited a few seconds. Then I closed the door loudly, pretending I had just arrived. "Mom, I'm here." "Oh, bear." Mom came into the hallway with a forced smile. What a surprise. Is something wrong? I tried to sound calm. About the Artisan Plate. They called about the New Year's catering. Issues with the prime rib. They offered roast chicken with potatoes and mushrooms instead. Is everyone okay with that? Oh, perfect. Roast chicken for New Year's is ideal. Whatever you think is best, honey. I turned and walked out. Everything was shaking in the car. I gripped the steering wheel for a few minutes, trying to process what I had heard. They planned it all behind my back. I pay for the food, I get stuck with 9 kids, and I miss the New Year's dinner. I was going to be the hired help, stuck with the kids, while everyone else enjoyed the meal I paid for. And the worst part was, they didn't even ask. They just decided I would be the babysitter because I always did what the family asked. At home, I was trembling with rage. I paced from corner to corner, getting angrier by the minute. It wasn't just about New Year's. They always treated me this way. Not as an adult woman with her own life, but as a free sitter who just happened to earn well. I remembered all those Saturdays when my sister showed up with the kids, how my parents always backed her up, how they made me feel guilty for wanting alone time. And now, this New Year's trap. Enough, I'm done with them. I grabbed my phone and called the Artisan Plate catering service. Hello, this is Sarah Miller. I have a big order for the 31st. Yes, Sarah. Did you decide on the substitution? I need to cancel the entire order. There was a long pause. Cancel? The entire thing? But it's only a week until New Year's. Yes, please cancel it now. I understand that. We can, but we have a cancellation penalty, yes. We can only refund about $800 of the $1,000 deposit. Fine, cancel it immediately. Understood. Refund in 3 to 5 business days. I hung up, feeling a strange mix of relief and panic. I had just canceled the dinner for 25 people, and they had no idea. That night, sitting on the couch, staring at my phone, I suddenly remembered. 3 months ago, Jenna, my old college roommate, called. After graduation, she moved to Aspen, Colorado, works for a tech company, and always posts photos of the mountains on Instagram. Sari, come visit for New Year's, she'd said back in September. My parents rented an amazing cabin at the base of the mountain. We're going skiing, drinking hot cocoa. It'll be beautiful. Back then, I had turned her down without thinking. Thanks, Jenna, but I always spend New Year's with family. Now, sitting in my apartment, learning about my relatives' plan to use me as free entertainment, I realized it was a sign from destiny. I found Jenna's number. My hands were still shaking from anger, but I was brimming with resolve. Sari, what a surprise! How are you? Jenna, hey. Listen, I know it's last minute, but you know how you invited me to Aspen for New Year's? Is that offer still on the table? Are you serious? Yes, come. We're heading out on the 29th. Can you make it? I can make it. I'll fly out the evening of the 29th. Awesome. I'll text you the address. I can't wait. I hung up, feeling a huge weight fall off my shoulders. On December 29th, I asked to leave work early and rushed to the airport, bound for Colorado. I arrived at Jenna's parents' house, Mark and Karen, around 9 that night. They welcomed me like a daughter. Tea, sandwiches, questions about the flight. The next day, the 30th, we drove to their rented cabin in Snowmass, a wooden chalet surrounded by snowy pines, like a Christmas fairy tale. On the 31st, we skied all morning. Then we returned to prepare the festive dinner. Around 3 in the afternoon, my phone started vibrating non-stop. I looked at Jenna. Guess it's time to answer. I picked up. Hello, Mom. Sarah, where are you? Her voice was clipped and angry. Everyone is waiting for you, and the food should have arrived an hour ago. I took a deep breath and said, I won't be there, Mom. What do you mean you won't be there? Don't be ridiculous. Get here now. I overheard your conversation with Aunt Lisa last week. I know your plan, to lock me up with 9 kids while you all celebrate. There was a moment of icy silence. Then, my mom's voice turned defensive. I don't know what you heard, but you're exaggerating everything. I heard exactly what I heard. You were laughing about handing off all the kids to me because I don't have my own. And don't bother telling me you're coming over. I'm not in Chicago. What? I heard voices in the background, Tiffany and others asking what was going on. Then my sister grabbed the phone. Sarah, what the hell? We were all counting on taking a break while you watch the kids. Have you lost your mind? I'm tired of being your free babysitter, Tiff, and especially tired of you plotting behind my back. Oh, and don't wait for the food. I canceled the order. I hung up. Jenna looked at me with wide eyes. Wow, how do you feel? I looked around. The cozy cabin, Jenna's family accepting me as their own, the snowy mountains outside the window. You know what? Better than ever. I was truly happy. I turned off my phone for the rest of New Year's Eve and all of January 1st. For the first time in years, I had the most incredible New Year's of my life. No one forced me to watch other people's kids. No one expected me to set the table and do the dishes. No one treated me like free help. Everyone just had fun together and included me as an equal. We skied, we played board games, we watched movies, we cooked as a team. Jenna's friends were hilarious, and her parents told great stories. I felt like part of a real family party, not a service worker. The morning of January the 2nd, I finally turned my phone back on. Dozens of missed calls, 15 from Mom, 12 from Dad, 8 from my sister, 5 from her husband, and several more from various relatives. But that was nothing. On WhatsApp, a flood of messages. The first ones were from Mom. "Call me. Where are you? This is unacceptable." Then worse. "You are a cruel, selfish person. You ruined New Year's for everyone. The party was a disaster because of you. There was no food." From my sister, it was harsher. "I can't believe you did this to us. We had to rush to the local Kroger for frozen appetizers at the last minute. We looked terrible in front of the whole family." Ryan also wrote, "Tiffany is crying over your stunt. The kids keep asking why there was no party dinner, but a message from Dad hit especially hard. We had a nightmare New Year's without a decent table. The kids were running and screaming. Everything was chaos. It's all your fault." I read it all, and instead of guilt, I started to laugh. Sitting in that beautiful cabin, surrounded by people who genuinely enjoyed my company, and reading how their clever plan had completely failed. They spent New Year's chasing 9 screaming children with no food and no plan B. The nightmare they wanted to pass off to me became their own. After the holiday, I stayed at the cabin with Jenna and her family for 3 more days. On January 5th, I flew back. I felt rested and serene, a feeling I hadn't had in years. For the first time, I spent the holiday the way I wanted, with people who appreciated my presence. On the way home, my phone buzzed intermittently, but I ignored it. I knew my family was trying to guilt me into apologizing. I wasn't ready for that conversation. The morning of January 6th, I was making coffee when there was an aggressive, demanding knock on the door. I looked through the peephole. Yep, Mom, Dad, and my sister, all 3 with faces twisted in anger. I took a deep breath and opened it. "Don't even bother saying hello," Mom said, pushing past me. Dad and Tiffany followed. "We need to talk." Dad used the same strict tone he used to scold me as a teenager. "Fine, let's talk." Mom turned to me. "How could you do this to us, Sarah? 25 people came expecting a holiday table, and in the end, there was nothing. Nothing." Dad added, "The guests kept asking about the food. We had to lie that the service failed. We looked like total idiots." Tiffany stepped closer. "Ryan's parents now think our family is completely disorganized. His mom asked why we didn't have a plan B." Mom threw her hands up. "And the kids? All 9 were running, screaming, making a mess. It was a nightmare, a total nightmare." I barely contained a smile. God, that sounds terrible, having to watch a bunch of kids at a family party. I can only imagine how exhausting that was. "Don't be a smart aleck," Dad roared. "You know exactly what you did." "Yes, I do. I decided not to be your free babysitter or the sponsor of your New Year's table." "You are our daughter." Tears welled up in Mom's eyes. "You are supposed to help family." "Help, yes. But you weren't asking for help. You wanted me to pay for everyone's food and then spend the entire party with 9 children while you all toasted and celebrated." My sister's face turned red. "How selfish you are. We work all week. We deserve to rest during the holiday." "And I don't work. I don't deserve a break." "You don't have kids," she yelled. "You don't understand how hard it is." "Exactly. I don't have kids. So, New Year's Eve is not the time for me to be stuck with yours. It's time for family to spend together." Mom sobbed. "Because of you, we were humiliated in front of the whole family. Aunt Lisa said she's not coming back. Uncle Mike's family left early." Dad added, "They said it was too chaotic. Ryan's brother asked if all our parties are this messy." Tiffany continued, "I didn't know what to say. I looked at all 3 of them, my parents and my sister, standing in my living room, blaming me for the failure of their manipulative scheme. You know what? I don't care. I don't give a damn that your New Year's was ruined. I don't care that your guests left. I don't care that you were embarrassed." "How can you say that?" Mom whispered. "Because years of using me is enough. Every Saturday, Tiffany dumps the kids without asking. Every holiday, you expect me to pay, cook, clean, or watch the kids. You never once asked what I wanted." "We are your family," Dad insisted. "Family doesn't manipulate. Family doesn't plot behind someone's back to trick them into being a free babysitter," I told them. Mom straightened up. She dried her eyes, and her voice became icy. Fine. If that's how you feel, then that's it. We won't invite you to family gatherings anymore. We'll have our parties without you. You can stay alone. Excellent, I replied without hesitation. All three of them stared at me as if I had grown a second head. You're not serious, Tiffany began. I'm totally serious. I am tired of being treated like an employee. I have my life, and I'm going to live it. You'll regret this, Mom said. When you're old and alone, you'll regret pushing your family away. The only thing I regret is not doing it sooner. Dad pointed to the door. Let's go. She made her choice. At the door, Mom turned back. Don't come crying when you realize what you lost. I won't, I replied. And it was true. After they left, I sat on the couch for 10 minutes in complete silence. Then I grabbed my phone and blocked all their numbers. In the following days, relatives called, trying to appeal to my conscience. Aunt Lisa said I was ungrateful. Uncle Mike said I was breaking Mom's heart. A cousin said I should apologize. Every time, I just hung up. 2 months have passed since that New Year's. I haven't spoken to my parents or my sister since they came to my apartment. I know from relatives who still call that my parents want to reconcile but don't know how. When family members suggest I make the first move, I tell them I'll talk to them only when they honestly admit that for years they used me as a free babysitter and wallet and never treated me as an equal. For now, no one is ready for that conversation. But you know what? I'm happier than I've been in years. My Saturdays are mine now. I can sleep in. I can go to a spa, a bar with friends, or just relax at home. I even started dating a great guy. And it's wonderful that no one bothers me every Saturday. I don't feel guilty, and I finally understand. Family isn't exploitation. Help should be voluntary, not an obligation.